is Ted Flett with Golden Skate, and I'm joined by Piper Gilles,
Hi.
Poirier.
Hello.
Thanks both of you for chatting with us. It's
pleasure.
the
Thanks for
day
having
after the free dance at Skate Canada.
Gala day.
Gala day, the fun
Gala
day.
day. You guys did all right in this competition.
Yeah, not too
It's
bad.
a good week.
Not too bad. Yeah.
So break it down for us. How do you feel? How did it all go?
I think for us, our short dance, it was a lot of fun. The crowd had this crazy energy, and we were just really trying to feed off of it. But we had a few little mistakes that we don't normally do in practice, and I think that comes with it being there early in the season. And
Yeah, it was a hard program to pace.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we have to kind of go back home and work on those things a little bit. But overall, we were really proud of our short dance. Again, with the free dance, that was
Let me ask you about the short dance, though. You said it was hard to pace. Can you
Yeah.
elaborate?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was one of those programs where we kind of felt like we were getting a little bit ahead of the music, so then we had to slow ourselves down, but then it killed our momentum, so then we felt like we had to catch up again. So it was just one of those programs where I think both of us kind of felt like we were fighting it a little bit. It just wasn't crisp and easy like it is sometimes at home, but as Piper said, that's just a lack of mileage at this point, and I think too, as the off season has progressed, we've gotten a lot faster and stronger with the program. So we're starting to feel a little bit squished.
It's small.
When that happens, do you guys communicate during the dance?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like we'll sit there and be like, "Okay,
Words
slow
or-
down."
Words,
Words.
sometimes.
Yeah, like kind of key words are like if there's a wall coming, we'll know to curve a little bit more or slow down.
What's that code? Wall coming!
Well, it's just like wall. Hey, we just cut it, make it short. Wall.
Fair enough.
Or one just like
No
slow
wasted
down,
breath.
or breathe, or something like that. Or we find ourselves getting ahead of the music. It's just like slow down. Just so we can kind of reevaluate where we are.
Yeah.
And that happens to me a lot. I get to slow down a lot. And I didn't get that. I got that
he
in the
tells you to
program
slow
too.
down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so
And it's
fast.
like the whole not touching footwork. She's in front, so I just
can't
have to
see
follow
him.
her. She can't see me at all.
Okay.
So I'm like, slow down.
Slow
I'm not
down.
with you.
Slow down. So
I got bell bottoms on. You're holding me back.
we're heavy, okay?
It's like parachute, right?
Yeah.
So in the short dance, your choice this season with a disco theme.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, you guys on the warm-up are quite distinct.
Yeah.
Very different look, clearly a different theme amongst the hip hop and swing and other things that are happening.
Yeah.
What led you towards that decision, and how are you feeling about it now?
It was a smart decision because everyone seems to be going towards those programs, and for us, we're very, very good at strong character-based programs, and we found that we hit that target at Worlds last year, changing it all to all Beatles programs. So we kind of went with that same theme, but obviously a different rhythm. It was something that wasn't very easily noticed in the rules when this year came out with the blues. It's buried in there, so you really have to look for disco. So we were like, well, I don't think many people are going to do it. And Carol actually mentioned to us Worlds in the hotel room, and he's like, you know what, I could really see you guys do disco. And since then, we've been kind of like fixed on that idea, and I think we've really captured those characters. And we even have our alter ego names. I'm Disco Diane, and
I'm
he's
Disco Reggie.
Disco Reggie.
Okay,
so
cool.
in each program we've got our own alter ego.
So, I mean, actually thinking about what's going to happen next year at the World Championships, you guys are locking down ideas really early.
Yep.
Is that typical? Is that
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're already doing music research
for
for
next
Olympic
year.
season,
Yeah.
and
Any
trying
hints?
to.
Any hints?
No,
Nope, nothing.
We're saying nothing.
Nothing.
But we really feel. Actually, I think every year. We really want to stew on the program, stew on what is it that we want to create, what is it that we want to give to people,
Yeah.
and what is it that we're,
It's Carmen, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's so Gilles and Poirier.
Carmen.
Sorry,
Carmen.
I interrupted
No, that's
you.
fine.
Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carmina Burana. Something no one will expect.
Do you know what? Carmina Burana would be so
Actually,
much
that
fun
would be.
just for the over the topness.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think for us, the more we get to stew over it, the more we can even really buy into our own concept. I think we really like to do work that to us is stimulating, both technically and emotionally and artistically.
Yeah, and I think when it gets to that time, like after Worlds next year, everyone's gonna be in pure panic mode because no one knows what that Olympic program is going to be, and I feel like for us, that's been our strategy all along, and so we're kind of sticking to that, and that way we're going into it being calm and collected, and we know what we're doing, and this gives us a lot of time to prep and make sure that we made the right decision, and we were going to make that impact at the Olympics, and that's been our plan for the last 4 years. Is each year we've known what we're going to do and how are we going to get to the Olympic podium. And I think each program has been shown a stepping stone, and we're really proud of that.
So breaking down the free dance and the choice of an Argentine tango, where did that sort of idea, where did that come from? Where was the inspiration? Did that also pop up at the World Championships?
No, this popped up last year.
Yeah, we originally wanted to do it last year, but we didn't find the right music for it, and we wanted something that could carry a program that was strong and powerful, but we didn't want it to be chopped up in pieces. It took us a year to really find a piece that we were really comfortable with, and we're really, really happy with the highs and the lows of this program, and I think it carries the characters between the two of us, and it's really developing our skating skills and our style, and anything else, Paul?
No, not particularly, as I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are on such a roll, and skating fans who are big fans of yours recall the disappointment in 2014 with what I think is a free dance that should have been in Sochi. I mean, that was such an amazing vehicle. I wouldn't have thought that someone who could pick something sort of eerie and spooky and intense like that it would play out.
Yeah.
And it was mesmerizing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shame on the judges for not putting that, getting you on the routine. But since then, you have not let that get you down.
No.
Move forward.
No.
Yeah.
More innovative, interesting programs. And then last year at the World Championships, huge breakthrough after the short dance.
Yeah.
As a Canadian myself, when I saw your scores, I thought two things. I thought, this is amazing. Wow, this is awesome. They're part of the final group. And then the other part of it was like, oh my God, they're in sharky waters.
We felt that.
Yeah.
There are big teams that you're now on the ice with, and there's more teams behind you, turning the heat up, like the Italians and the third-ranked American team.
Yeah.
So, what were you thinking after getting that massive +70 score at in Boston?
I think Piper and I, to be honest, got to the free dance and were both absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
One, because actually we learned a lot from that experience. One, just we weren't used to that sort of pressure. Secondly, from the high of the short dance the night before, it really, we really crashed the day after. And I think thirdly, we train early in the morning usually, and to do a free dance at 10 p.m. was extremely difficult, and our bodies weren't ready for it. And we had the exact same schedule here actually with the really late free dance. And because we knew it was so hard in Boston, we prepared for that. We were doing simulations at 9 or 10 p.m. just to get used to feeling what the programs would feel like at that time. So I think for us, that was a huge learning experience for us, but it also showed us we were ready to compete at that level. And once we had that experience, we knew what we needed to do to prepare to make sure that we could still give our best performance amidst those circumstances. Because I think that's where we want to be every time we compete now.
Sure.
And so we have to get used to that.
Sure. And for you, what were your observations?
Yeah, like Paul said, and we just have to really get used to, preparing before the competition, and now knowing that we can go from a high in a short dance and continuing on a high in the free dance, making sure that both of those are complete and strong. And, we did crash. Because it was we just weren't expecting that 70 score. And, now we're prepared for that. We want that, and we know how to, take that and thrive off of it instead of sinking. And, being in that last group with, like you said, a big shark tank of big teams, we're getting used to that, and we've been competing against Anna Capolini and Maddie and Evan early this season, so we kind of had that environment already. And then coming here, we were the same teams, and then also Tessa and Scott, and it's just, we've got the French as well in France, so we have to be used to competing against those big guys and knowing that we can compete with them and put down scores just like they can. So,
So Paul, you said, or one of you said, Olympic podium.
Yep.
So absolutely being top 3 in the world is on your list of things.
Yeah,
to do.
and it has been this whole quad.
Yep.
Since Sochi, that was everything we have done this quad in terms of training, in terms of music selection, in terms of program selection, in terms of the way we're training our bodies and the ways we want to grow. They've all been with that in mind.
Okay.
Podium.
I think that is a lot of ambition that people wouldn't necessarily expect of a team, but that's probably what you need if you're there. If you're skating early morning, you got to be doing it.
Right, we
got to have a
some
reason
sort of
for
purpose.
it.
Exactly,
Sure.
exactly. And for us, not making the Olympic team was a huge motivator for us. You know, it was kind of like not being there. It was hard, but it taught us a lot about ourselves, and you know that we can come back from something like that and fuel the fire on something positive. You know, and knowing that we wanted to make that podium in the next 4 years was something that we had to really embrace, and you know, we had to take care of each other. We had to build that confidence between us, and you know, I think we have every year, and you know, set the bar high, and you know, see where the chips land.
Figure skating, or ice dance in particular, used to really be quite formulaic. Everybody was slotted, and unless someone retired or was injured, no one's moving up. There's been, you know, much more movement in the past 3 seasons since Sochi, and scores that you're getting now would suggest that you are actually, you're really turning the heat up now on the other Canadian team, so on Weaver and Poge and on Tessa and Scott. Do you feel as though, you know, you're not, it's not just a gimme that you'll be the bronze medalist necessarily at the Canadian National Championship?
Absolutely not.
You know, sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're at the point now, we were saying this earlier this week, where if we want to be where we want to be, and that's, you know, on the Olympic podium next year, our goal has to become to win every single competition we're in, and it doesn't matter if it's the world champions or Olympic medalists. Our goal has to be that we want to challenge them, we want to beat them, and whether or not it happens, you know, that's a different story, but I think we have to have that mindset, because otherwise we're settling for something that's less than excellent all the time.
Now, so you're returning to France for your next stop in the Grand Prix series. So last year when you went to France, and the French team withdrew due to her concussion, you two became sort of the favorites, or the headliners in that event. Of course, it never got to unfold to the free dance. So you never got to see, and you were second, you know, a very close second. Does it help now going back, knowing that, okay, you may not necessarily be the headliners, you can sort of be the snakes in the grass and let the French do their thing, and then see what sort of heat you can turn on, or what sort of mental preparation goes into it?
Again, like we want to win. You know, we want to make the final, and to have big scores, and you know, to make that, we need to win, or at least get second with big marks, so that we are, you know, right on the cusp of that. But you know, we've been to France 4 times now for competitions, and we love the fans, you know, so going back we're very, very comfortable with that, and being back in Paris this year will be exciting. I've heard they've made a little renovations to the rink, so we're excited to see what that is.
But I think otherwise it's familiar. We know the setup, we know the hotel, we know the rink, we know the schedule.
We know some of the staff, like the people, the volunteers, so it's just like when we come here, we know all the volunteers here, and it's like friendly faces, so it's like going there and, you know, knowing people, and Paul speaks French, so that helps. I just sit there and nod, and he
awful Canadian French. May I warn you.
I'm way better than me, so.
No offense to French Canadians.
I am one, so.
Well, I love the winning attitude. I wish you lots of luck this season.
Thank you.
Congratulations again on the bronze medal and personal best scores in the short dance and free dance. And I hope it continues this season.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks.